got to start off. We got to talk about the bar, Main Street. So you guys have come in and you've taken over ownership of it now. And how long's that been?
It's been probably, I would say, 3 months, right? Yeah.
3 months.
3 months. So I got to tell you, now I've been here before. You know, I've had a comedy show here before, and two actually in the past. And the first time I walked into this place, I was like, man, the vibe, the darkness, the lights, and especially the drinks, man. The whole place just has a whole vibe of itself. And you guys have carried that over, right? And so tell me a little bit about your venture into this. This is the first bar y'all own?
Yes, it's the first one. Actually, my partner here, he was the one who wanted to venture for a minute, and we've been talking about it, and one day I called his bluff.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Yeah, we were just kind of like, I mentioned it to him, and, we go back and forth, and I said, I really wanted to do a sort of a bar lounge type deal, right?
Right.
And we were trying to do something in Warner Robins that didn't kind of pan out, and we happened to just kind of, he tells me, hey, let's go over to Perry, let's go have some drinks at a different bar. It was me.
You talking about the wine?
Yeah.
Wine merchandise? Yeah. We went there. So we were what happened was we were looking at different locations. So when we got there, it was a lot of red tapes. So one of the avenues we could have taken was wine. So
Right.
that's why we talked. We went over there. We showed what they got, what Perry drinks, and from that point, we discovered.
Yeah, it was a funny thing because that day was kind of like a bad day, right? We had tried to do something, we didn't get the answer that we wanted, and we just kind of like, well, let's just kind of pack it up and let's try it again, right? But let's go before, if we even gonna venture into just doing beer and wine, and then we show you a place, right? And so we came down here, downtown Perry, to Big Mike, right, over there, and we sat down and we were just having a drink, talking with the owner over there and his wife, and at some point or another, we told them that, what had gone down that day. And she's like, so you guys are looking to do a bar? And we're like, yeah. And she's like, well, I heard, right, that there could be a bar that's right up the street that could be for sale. And we just looked at each other and were like, say no more. Anybody?
And it was this bar.
It was this bar. It was this bar. That night, we came over here, like we had a few drinks over there, we came over here and they just happened to be open and we walked in. The owner wasn't in here, there was just Greg and J-Rob, which is, they're still current bartenders here. And we walked in, checked it out, we looked at each other and we're like, let's give it a shot.
Because when you walk in, the vibe grabs you, right?
Yeah.
What was your first impression when you walked in here? You'd never been here before.
Never been.
And you walked in here thinking about buying it before you even walked in.
Yeah.
So what was your impression when you first walked in?
It
spoke to you, right?
It's the location. It's everything. The bar. You can, there's so many things that you can do in the business side, but also taking care of the customers.
Yeah.
You can host different events. You can change the direction of not change per se, just give a little bit of our style and bring it to
So when y'all walked in, you saw the bar for the first time. Did you both have the feeling of this is it? If it's available, this is it.
Yeah, I thought there was a lot of potential. I came in though, and the first thing that I actually thought it was too dark, right?
Yeah.
So I thought it was.
It does give that.
So I'm a lights guy, right? At the back of my house, it just lit up like a Christmas tree, right? So I was already, my eyes were just envisioning, right? And I was like, where can we add some accent lighting just to give it a little bit more flavor?
Right.
And and we took that. Took us about a week to get a hold of the owner, right?
Yeah.
And we walked in here one day. We called, we messaged, we tried to figure it out. One day we just kind of came over here. She just happened to be sitting over there in the corner.
Yep.
And I look over to Neil. We're talking to Greg. He's a bartender over there. I thought that he was her son. And I thought he was a firefighter because his son was
Right.
a firefighter, Zach. And I asked him, I said, hey, he's like, your hat, there's a fire hat that's over there on the left-hand corner, but it was behind the bar.
Yeah.
And I asked him, and he goes, oh, no, that's the owner's hat. And he goes, that she's over there. I mean, that's the owner's son hat. She's over there. And I looked at him, looked at me, and I'm like, I got this. Like I said, we're going to start this conversation, right? So she's kind of walking around, and she goes down with another person that we know. And when she kind of walks up, I stop her. And true as shit, what I'm telling you right now, we said, hey, are you Shannon? She goes, yeah. And he says, are you the owner of the bar? She's like, yeah. And she goes, you want to buy it? And we were like, that's exactly why we.
So she already knew, huh?
Yeah. Well, she had, I guess, some sort of feeling that she was trying to go for it, right? So when she said it, said that's exactly what we were here for. And that you could say the rest was history after that.
Yeah.
About a month later, we were.
So a month after the conversation, y'all
About a month and maybe a month and 2 weeks.
Yes. Yeah.
So give me your names. We haven't established that. So what is your name? Neil?
Neil. Yeah.
And
I'm Ruben.
Ruben. So now you two, how long have y'all known each other? I feel like there's a backstory here.
So wow, like I think what 7, 8 years. So it was since the first day, man.
Yeah.
Like it was the thing that we had a friend coming, right? And that friend, he was telling me, he's like, hey man, you gotta meet this guy. You gotta meet this guy. You gotta meet this guy. And so busy with time and all that stuff. It's like, Ruben hosts a lot of things in his house and all that stuff. And I was like, all right, one day I'll be there. One day I'll be there. And happens to be that day I was there. And since the first day we shake hands, we became BFF.
Yeah. Well, but both of y'all have that kind of aura about you. I mean, the first time I met you, I feel like I've known you forever. Same thing with him. And actually, the first time I met him, I thought he was you because it was so dark in here. I was like, what's up, Neil? I was like, oh, that's not Neil. But he shook it off and he was like, hey man, you're Shane. I was like, yeah. But so that y'all known each other for about 8 years.
Yeah,
and this
give or take some. The funny thing is that my son used to hang out with his son before I even knew him.
Yeah.
Before I even knew him, right? So and it was just kind of crazy how the similarities kind of went.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So originally, both of y'all served in the Army. Am I correct with
He
that?
served in the Army. Don't put me.
I'm sorry.
Whoa.
I'm sorry. Did you have service? You served the Air Force.
Air Force.
Well, hey, thank y'all for your service. Hey, thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. No matter how long.
We're not gonna see
We're not gonna.
Yeah.
So both of you have experience in the armed services, is that correct?
Yeah.
And so y'all been friends for about 8 years, and this is y'all's first venture together.
Yes.
Kind of, sort of.
Kind of, sort of.
Kind of, sort of. We, I had a truck, trucking company for a while, and he dabbled in for a little bit, and it was during the last few years where gas prices were up and down and kind of crazy. So he dipped out and went into real estate, and I kind of stayed trucking on.
Right. Trucking. So what do y'all do now? This is not y'all's full time job now, right?
Well, for him, yes.
For him, it is. Okay. But for you still work.
I still support the war fighting.
I got you. So now that you own Main Street Bar, y'all still have a lot of stuff going on. I know y'all brought back the comedy show, which was a huge success. The first show we had here, January 4th, and we're already talking about more shows. We got another show coming up February 1st and beyond. What other kind of things are y'all doing here?
Oh, well, sky's the limit. We
Live bands.
We have line dance.
Line dancing.
That's your side.
We got line dancing. What was the event that we have?
Salsa.
We have
Salsa. Yeah.
We have line dancing. We have the comedy.
Painting. Yeah, I know you got painting coming up.
Tomorrow, if the weather permits, we're gonna have the first salsa lesson that
cocktails.
Right, Main Street Bar is gonna provide it for free.
So can you salsa?
A little bit.
A little bit.
I can.
Again.
I can.
So yeah, I mean, it's for free. I'm gonna learn too.
What about fat dudes? Can a fat dude like me come in here and salsa with you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Can you get a couple of these and you can do whatever you
Oh,
want.
hey,
Electro boogie your way.
Hey, like the old days in Whiskey River, man. I used to get liquored up and do whatever I wanted to do.
Ain't nobody judging here.
Yeah, nobody judging. So y'all are a 21 and up bar, right? So
correct.
and you focus mainly on higher end quality drinks. Am I correct?
That is correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we don't find any like Mad Dog 2020 or nothing behind the bar.
Only in my glove compartment.
I mean, you go ahead.
When I was 21.
Right.
Yeah, we focus on the higher end when it comes to alcohol, right? We want the customer to come in here, have a great experience, have a great cocktail, and be able to get their money's worth.
And what type of beers do y'all have? Y'all draft or bottle?
We have about 5 different drafts. Normally between those drafts, we have a IPA, we have Michelob Ultra, which is always on there. We have a blonde, right? And then we'll have a lager, right? So I can always tell you that we're normally gonna have Michelob Ultra as the first one, and then the rest will vary, right?
Right.
Peroni, uh, terrapin, and then we'll have some sort of a flavory, like a sour. We'll have a what do you call it? It's the apple.
Oh, the apple cider.
The apple cider.
Apple cider,
We'll have
yeah.
like a cider or something in there. So we're working on getting one more tap so we could have another extra, different beer or two as a backup, but mostly to have one different. So,
Right.
yeah, so beers we have there, and then we have it on tap, and then we have different assortment of different beers. Somewhat similar, Coronas, Modelo, Coors Light, things of that nature.
And currently, you don't serve any food here, right? Currently, not yet. But it is in the works.
It is.
Okay.
It is.
But you have a little pizza joint next door that
Yes.
y'all.
Yeah, I mean they
Coast pizza, delicious pizza.
delicious. I mean, great service, great guys. And we let the customers bring their pizza here to eat, and that's like we don't have any problem with that.
Yeah.
And they even bring it here.
Yeah.
Like they order, and some customers sit here and they bring it here.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So, a lot of people come in here with their drink of choice. So somebody comes in here with a suggestion for, hey, can you get this drink for me, or can you make this drink? Y'all can handle that.
For the most part, yeah, we got awesome bartenders. The only thing that will limit them is us, for some reason, not having the right accoutrements.
Right.
You could say, right?
Right.
But for the most part, we got a full bar here. We can make it happen. And if we didn't have it that day, and either Neil or I didn't go take off to go fill in the blanks of whatever's needed, because I know we have the right alcohol, we just need a mix or something that we need.
Yeah.
And we'll fix that. But definitely the next week we got it on the list and we'll bring it back. So.
I've gotten to know Neil. Neil was here,
Yeah.
Whenever the first comedy show happened, and you were out of the country at the time. But so I know Neil has a feel good story about well, I call it a feel good story, what everybody loves to hear.
Right.
But a story of success. You came stateside, right?
Yeah.
With $1,200 in your pocket.
Yeah.
You served the army, and now you and him both own Main Street Bar.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a story of success, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I mean it's a blessing. Like I couldn't chose no better person than him.
Yeah.
That's right.
Like like it's and I'm not easy. I'm not I'm not easy. So he's been very supportive and understanding, and I think it's been a key success that we've been having, and discipline and all that stuff comes in play, right? And that's something that we have, right? It's been teach through service and to our parents and all that stuff, and here we are.
Yeah. Well, I know we talked about it before. Like y'all are kind of like a yin and yang to each other, right? I know because I got to know you first.
Yeah.
Like I said, you were, and he brought whenever we were talking about this, he brought it up. He's like, yeah, Neil's like, he's high strung. He said, I had to put him down sometimes. I said, yeah, I know that, dude. I said, I know that. I said, because the first night we had the comedy show here, it was a huge success. He's like, hey, we're gonna look at another place tomorrow. We can hold more people. It's like, And we did. We went to another place. But
Still there.
so y'all have a good relationship. I mean, it's it's one, and I'm not gonna say this, I'm not gonna say this out of key, but one's a big dreamer and one's a realistic pull back in, just a little bit kind of tight. What do you say?
Yeah, so you say that, and I had this conversation. I think you were here when we were talking about that. When I was speaking with my dad in Puerto Rico, because my dad's owned a business for
Yeah.
years, 30 years, right? And he asked that question, like, how is it that you guys work together, right? And I said, well, we work together because of the visions.
Yeah.
Neil is somebody that works for the future, and
Yeah.
I work for the present,
Right.
So
And perfect balance.
yeah, that's the
between
perfect balance. So while I'm here making sure that the day-to-days are done, he's making sure that we can catapult and keep moving forward.
Right. What would you say are y'all's keys to success so far? Hard work, dedication. I mean, I know that's the two that everybody goes to.
Yeah. I mean, it's discipline, man. Communication. Just
Communication.
yeah.
That's gotta be it. Communication. I mean, we can't do it all without. I mean, it gets to the point that after you've done this for so much and we talk, at some point or another, we already know what the
Right.
other person's gonna
What the other person's thinking.
yeah, while the other person thinking, and I'm gonna answer some questions because I know he's gonna ask me something.
Right.
Or the other way around. Like, so normally I'm like, I probably I don't even know this part.
Yeah.
So discipline is key. I know
Oh,
discipline's key. Staying disciplined
Yeah.
and accountability and
Oh.
communication.
Yeah.
Accountability.
Oh, it's hard.
Accountability, I've seen.
It's a must. I mean, discipline, consistency. It's just one of the things that you gotta have support to be successful business owner.
Right.
I mean, it's just there's nothing else. There's no magic pill. There's no like because we are a prime example that we came from nothing to something.
Right.
And anybody can do it. Like,
So a little bit about your past too. You came from Puerto Rico too, also?
I did. I joined the military when I was 18. Yeah, that thing, it was just, I worked with my dad since I was 11 years old at his store. We lived in Puerto Rico for a few years, and then around 14 or 15 years old, I started, working out in the mall, things like that, because I guess I needed some sort of a different freedom from just being in that business. So, and then one day I'm just kind of hanging out in front of my house, and my neighbor across the street says, "Hey, man, you know?" And I said, he goes, "Hey, I just joined the military. You should join too." And I was like, "Okay." So 22 years later, it brings me here.
Right.
And
And then y'all's paths cross?
yeah, the paths crossed.
Yeah.
It was, we actually met in the base, at the base.
Yeah.
Like,
Here at Roberts?
yeah, Robert.
so that's a funny story. So before that friend that I was telling you, it was Ruben was the first officer in the Air Force, and they had what is it Hispanic month or
Yeah.
whatever.
Hispanic Heritage Month.
There you go. So I went, support, and stuff. We sit down, and Ruben was in the panel, and I actually talked to him. That was before, I think after the friend, he came by and said, "Hey man, this dude, you gotta meet him. You guys and he was there. We had a conversation, and then it was something like, "Hey man, like where you from? All that stuff and that." And then, we just no contact.
But before that, like I said, my son had already been
Yeah.
hanging out with his son.
Oh,
And I
So
didn't notice.
So it was destiny. It was
Yeah.
destiny, baby. It was destiny.
Yeah, it's weird. It's that, and the freaking thing is that, my son's name is Joel. His son's name is Noah. Right?
Oh, wow.
like what the hell's going on here?
Joel and Noah, wow.
Yeah, and then we got similar tattoos, but I never even knowing each other.
Right.
Oh
It's
yeah.
a no homo situation.
No. So, all right. So, if someone's never walked into Main Street Bar, what would you tell them about the place? Come try it.
Yeah, of course, come try. We have the best service, and if we don't meet their expectations, we definitely want to get the what's the word for that? We want
The review or
we want to hear,
Yeah,
we want to hear, and then we come back and I'm just fired, and why?
Yeah.
So we don't want to take nothing from all the business. Because one thing about Perry, it just everybody's been so supportive. Like from business owner all the way to local people. They Perry is a different monster.
Yeah.
You know, everybody supports you if you're doing it right? And I believe that we are the first, or if it's not the only Latino business owners.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, congratulations. That's in that area, right?
It is here, and downtown, and you know that shows that the city wanted diversity. So, and obviously doing the right thing, they want to support. They want to get behind.
Right.
So but you gotta do the right thing.
You gotta do the right thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's just because they're going to believe.
Well, I can wholeheartedly tell y'all that just based off of talking to y'all and conversations we've had some conversations outside of this too. You guys are great together. You're a great team together, and you know you got some visions for the future. I know that this is Main Street Bar is not your only stopping right? Only stopping bar. So, but you're going to do everything you can to make this bar as successful as possible.
Correct. Absolutely.
And I look forward, especially with the comedy shows coming in. I mean, this is I love this area. And the first one was tremendous, and I'm pretty sure the next ones are going to be as well.
It was a hit. I mean, anything that we do in the community show support, and that's what makes like from South Night, Comedy Night, all the small events that we do. We did ugly sweater. We did
ugly sweater. I did ugly Christmas sweater.
So I mean, it just and it's so.
And y'all are hands on too, right? Y'all both work here,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. If it's
a big event or if it's a Saturday night, Friday night,
any day, every day.
Fridays and Saturdays, we take on Fridays, you'll see him, Saturdays, you'll see me, sometimes you'll see the both of us,
Right.
It depends. And really, the biggest thing overall is just not like a bar, right? When you come in, we want you to feel at home.
Yeah.
Want you to
And
feel
you
at home.
do, man. I mean, you greet your bartenders greet everybody that walks through the door. It's kind of like the cheers when Norm, who comes in,
Yeah. And it goes back to what he had spoke about earlier. I do a lot of parties at my house at some point.
Yeah.
And we were always there, and at some point, I always invite everybody, and everybody. The rule is just don't
mess it up.
don't mess it up, right?
Don't mess it up,
Just
right.
come in, have a good time, and then leave, get home safely, right?
Yeah.
Type deal.
Yeah.
So the same thing applies to here. The only difference is here I get to charge for the alcohol.
Exactly. It's not coming out of your pocket.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I can't thank y'all enough for sitting down and talking, and I appreciate y'all being home to this show that we're kicking off. That's another venture that we have together.
Yes.
Main Street After Hours, we got a little podcast we're gonna do here, and you guys have already helped line up. We got some ideas for lineups and people we're gonna interview. And of course, y'all had to be the first, man. You had to be the first, right?
For sure. We want to show. Our main goal is to show the future. I mean, the generation that's coming up, the future generation that it's possible. Like it's just hard work, and 9 out of 10, the people are going to show you the way. Of course, if you're doing the right thing.
Right.
Like you ask, and they will tell you. But you got to put the work.
Got to put the work in.
Yeah. That's
Got to put the work in and be disciplined.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Discipline.
Discipline. Discipline.
Discipline.
Guys, I can't thank y'all enough, man. To Main Street After Hours, man.
Main
Make
Street.
it off the hour.
Main Street.